My name is Vera Richardson, and I am recording this video in response to I report on race. Last week, President Carter made national headlines when he stated that part of the opposition, a great part of the opposition to President Obama's health care reform is based on the fact that he's an African American president. And I agree with President Carter's statement. I realize that racism is a very difficult subject to discuss, and it's also very hard to prove. But I also believe that nothing in this world happens by chance, and that includes the fact that race is a national discussion at this time in our nation's history. On January the 20th, President Obama was sworn in as our 44th president, and his election, Associate Justice Sotomayor's confirmation hearing to the United States Supreme Court, the New Haven firefighters case, and Professor Gates, a Harvard professor's encounter with a police sergeant in New Haven, Connecticut, all happened, and I don't think it happened by chance. And I believe that at this time in our nation's history that I am uniquely qualified to advance these teachable moments into a thoughtful, truthful discussion on one form of racism, employment discrimination. I believe that I'm uniquely qualified to have this conversation because of my entire life. My entire life includes growing up black in America in utter poverty. I was very poor in Florida, and I achieved my dream in spite of that start of graduating from college. And I had my dream shattered by employment discrimination with New York State Department of Correctional Services. And my discriminatory work experience, my Title VII lawsuit pro se against Eliot Spitzers staff at New York State Attorney General's office, those parts of my life have all given me insight to shed light on employment discrimination. Unlike Professor Gates' case encounter with a sergeant in Cambridge, my case of racism is backed by solid evidence, direct evidence. It is not solely dependent upon my word against the defendant's word. In my book, A Case of Racial Discrimination and Retaliation, I detail, it's a memoir, and I detail my entire life, including my employment discrimination experience. And I was able to, in the revised version, to upload original documents, including the perjured declarations that were filed in federal court to get my court successfully thrown out of, so that a jury couldn't rule that New York State Department of Civil Service and New York State Department of Corrections violated the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So the documents now are in the book, and I challenge any journalist or law professor or law student or just a legal scholar or just an ordinary American to investigate my case. If you want to do a serious examination of the case and a report, I would give you a free book to do that, because I am confident that I was indeed a victim of unlawful discrimination. My confidence stems from the fact that I contacted the district attorney office in Buffalo, New York, where the perjured declarations were filed, and that DA told me that based on his review that the New York State employees definitely committed perjury. He told me that he had a budget of $1 million, and he didn't think that he would be the person that could give me the justice that I was seeking. So he referred me to the United States Justice Department. Once I contacted the Justice Department, 2 attorneys there reviewed my case, my documentation of perjury and discrimination, and they decided that they were, based on their review, that perjury had occurred, and they referred it, I was told that they were referring it to the FBI for them to do an investigation. The statute of limitation was 5 years for perjury, and no one was ever charged with perjury in my case. So once again, I didn't receive any justice. And after the Eliot Spitzer was discovered, prior to his being discovered in leaving the governor's office, I mailed him a copy of my book, Seeking Redress, from his staff at the Attorney General's office. And since he was in charge of the office, then I thought that he would be willing to be held accountable for the actions of one of his assistant Attorney General, Mike Russo, the person that actually filed the perjured declaration. But in his role as governor, Eliot Spitzers did not respond to my letter seeking redress. And after Governor Patterson became the new governor, I contacted him, and he too did not respond to my request. So I'm saying to the American public that racism does exist, not only in the South, but also in the North. This was New York State. And just like people are holding ACORN, and I agree too, based on the limited, tapes that I've seen, that if they had staff performing the way that the people that we got a chance to see on television were performing, that the head of ACORN is responsible for those employees' action. So I agree with the extreme measure that has been taken, including like taking funding from them. But on the same token, when it's a white perpetrator and a black victim, then I too am entitled to justice in my case. So am I playing the race card, or was I a true victim of employment discrimination? Was it real, or did I imagine it? Thank you very much.